Not gonna lie, if you want to catch me at the Ocean Drive in Sea Isle City, New Jersey, you're gonna have to catch me at 7:30 because I'm gonna be on that dance floor enjoying the air conditioning by myself. Listen to my throwbacks. Let's get this podcast started. Welcome to a very special Jersey Shore at the Jersey Shore edition of Not Gonna Lie. I'm so excited right now. It's a JWoww original brought to you by Dunkin. I'm your host, Kylie Kelsey, a beach wagon puller, an amateur boogie boarder, and I've been a fan of the woman sitting next to me right now for 15 years. And so have all of you. You know her from the phenomenon that is the show Jersey Shore. She and the whole cast enrich our lives and vocabularies with phrases like GTL and the cabs are here. Now she's also a mom and doing incredible work on behalf of the autism community. And she officially is here. And she's not gonna lie. It's Jenni, JWoww Farley. Welcome to the show.
Oh my God, what
I'm so excited to have you.
So
and
excited.
It's perfect because we are at the Jersey Shore.
We are, and it's 100 degrees out.
It is very warm. If you see me wiping my brow or my upper lip, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I'm so excited to have you here. It's such a timely lineup for what we are doing here, and then also like drag you back to the Jersey Shore to talk to you about the last 15 years of your life and how it was. I mean, perfection from
blacked out
getting
mostly.
Getting to watch everything with the Jersey Shore.
Oh, I thank you.
Is just like, it's a comfort thing. I am not a reality TV person.
Okay.
It's the only show that I watched religiously.
Are we best friends right now?
Yes.
I'm getting
for
comfy.
multiple reasons. Now, as the real ones can see, we're taping the show from the most gorgeous bar at the Jersey Shore. This is the Ocean Drive. We have our guest bartending event here. All of the proceeds for that event go back to the Eagles Autism Foundation. Jenni, as a Jersey Shore icon yourself, have you been to the OD before?
I actually haven't been down here ever. I have to say
we dragged you from the North Jersey Shores.
But, you know, living in Jersey and being in the northern parts of the Jersey Shore, I never thought that I needed to come down here. Mm-hmm. Like I did like Cape May one day or Wildwood for like my son's jiu-jitsu tournament, but I never like stayed here. Sea Isle, Ocean City.
To enjoy the beach.
Not once. Mm-hmm. Don't really like the beach, but I have to say, I have to give it. I was at the beach yesterday with my kids. I stayed in a hotel so I didn't have to get in the vehicle. Yep. I borrowed chairs and towels.
Yes.
Best time of my life.
Done.
I didn't have to bring the sand with me. Yes. I don't have sand on me today. Zach has the kids at the beach this morning. It's been a great 24 hours. I have to give it to you.
That.
If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be here.
I will say a friend of mine in college took me to Seaside Heights because that is the shore point that she went to growing up. And I think there is a little bit of confusion between what we experience down here is the Jersey Shore. This is the Jersey Shore I grew up coming to.
Yes.
And what you guys were opening up the world's eyes to.
Trash.
I mean, it seemed like a
but
good
in the
time.
Best way.
How would you describe the difference between like the OD? How does it compare to Karma?
Well, unfortunately, there is no comparison, but the OD is beautiful. I would say actually, like we had a vibe like this, like an outdoor
Was
bar.
there an outdoor section of Karma?
There was.
Okay.
It's where I punched that girl in the face. It was a good
fond
time to be
memories.
alive. It was fond memories. A lot of fights went down. They did not have sand.
Gotcha.
So
you probably preferred that.
I would say, well, back then I blacked out. I didn't care.
Perfect. Well, I figured we could kick things off with a very, very special edition of a segment we do here called Can I Be Honest? And today, of course, we're going to get honest about your show, Jersey Shore. And like I said, the real ones know that I've watched very little reality TV in my life, but the Jersey Shore is the exception. I still remember my sister and I would watch it, and then we would continue to quote it for the rest of the week, because why not? Now, before we go any further, I realize that not everyone watching is a millennial who watched every episode like me. So to help them follow our conversation, I was hoping you could define some of the most iconic terms and catchphrases from the show. So we're going to do rapid fire style.
Okay.
First one, GTL.
Gym tan laundry.
And there was a little bit of confusion. The gym, the tan, and the laundry are as clear as it is, right? Yeah. It was literally just going to the gym
every morning,
going to get tan
right after,
and doing your laundry.
And dropping the laundry up and then picking it up the next day when we were already back going to the gym and going tanning. It was a way of life.
It was so impressive. It was so impressive. Number 2, meatball.
Oh, those are my meatballs, my babies. That's Nicole and Dina. Shorter, we're not.
No.
We would be considered the sausage. So I was the sausage to their meatballs.
I love that.
Short. And they just didn't break. They're like Gumby.
Yep.
So they were little meatballs that ran around and got drunk all day.
I love it. Number 3, smush.
Sexuals. I don't know how else to say it.
Number 4, juice head or gorilla.
Mostly a tatted up muscle man on the beach.
Yep. I remember everyone hunting for a gorilla of their own.
Always me.
Number
Always
5,
me.
T-shirt time.
Oh, so that's a 2-part.
Mm-hmm.
There's the shirt before the shirt.
Yes.
And we're actually experiencing that right now.
Yes.
Because when you're in the summer.
This could be a shirt before the shirt.
Yes.
Yes.
And then right before you go to the club, right before we leave, you put the shirt on. And that's T-shirt time.
You're fresh.
And then you walk out. Yes.
You're fresh. You're ready to go.
Which leads to fresh to death.
It does. Number 6, FTD.
Fresh to death, FTD. Wow, you're bringing back like memory lane now.
Perfect. Number 6, fist pump. Yes. Actually, I think it would be number 7 now because I did fill the other one. So number 7, fist pump.
There is a fist pump, so I will say this. I am very disappointed in the new generation. They don't dance like we used to. They kind of sit around on their cell phones and do their own thing. Mm-hmm. But back in the day, at least my day and your day, people danced at nightclubs. Yeah. They fist pumped, they frolicked, they were all over the place. We did backflips. We didn't care. Our kukas were showing.
That might bring us to number 8, Jersey Turnpiking.
We Jersey Turnpike, which is twerking, I guess, as you younger kids
Specifically, my understanding of it was, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but specifically, you would be bent fully over, like almost touching the floor. Is that right?
Like a triangle.
Right?
Yes. It was always, Dina did a phenomenal job. She would touch her toes, ass straight in the air.
Yes.
And she would just make it jiggle. She has the best ass.
Outstanding.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yes, 1,000%. Oh, we are very in on cursing around here. Number 9, the poof.
Oh, that was Nicole's signature hair. Yeah. It was like a little claw clip in the front.
You know what's funny? It's coming back.
I see that.
I saw it. And it was called something else. And I was like, oh, excuse me.
Isn't that the worst?
It's funny when it comes back around.
And it's called something else.
I just want to be clear to all of our younger listeners. Snooki did that.
Yes. Okay.
Nicole did that. She walked so you could run. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she was crushing it. She would get it so
She has the perfect
high.
hair.
It was outstanding. Number 9, cabs are here.
No. Okay, so before Uber and Lyft and all these fancy apps, we would physically have to call, get an appointment. Phone. Like you'd be like, we need a cab in like 20 minutes, wait. And then when we would hear the double honk, Pauly would yell, cabs are here.
I love it so
Kids don't
much.
even know what a cab is.
No, they do not.
Not even, no.
I don't even know how many cab companies still even exist.
When I see them, I get sad because I'm like, you're holding on by a thread.
Then the cab rolls by and you see the little Uber light up in the back. You could sponsor us, Uber. Come on. Did I miss any terms?
I don't think so. You got the good ones.
Perfect. I think everyone should be up to speed now. Now, I'd love to start at the beginning. What was your first impression of everybody?
Nicole swears that like I did what I did, and I swear that it was the camera edits when like I looked at her, was like, oh. But she came in loud. She came in loud. And I love loud people, but she was a lot. I was like, I called her a rabid chihuahua. I was like, you are just very rabid. You're a lot. I thought the boys were dumb as a box of rocks. I love them to death, but I was like, what is this?
I think the best part about it is that you guys like got to where you are now because people saw you guys being like hilarious,
just us,
ridiculous. But you guys were so like true to yourselves in like enjoying life at the Jersey Shore that people were like, I want to watch this.
Yeah, I think it was twofold too. I think truthfully, and I'm not even saying this to like make people laugh, like we look like creatures of the night. If you were from Ohio, you didn't know what we looked like. You didn't know this existed. You didn't know like there were.
Well, that was one of the craziest things about going to Seaside Heights myself and getting the confirmation that
we exist
because
it's normal.
Because this is what I grew up with. I grew up South Jersey Shore. For people who don't know, it's very different from the North Jersey Shore points, specifically Seaside Heights.
Yes.
And so when people were like, "Oh, it's a show about the Jersey Shore," I'm like, "Not the one I went to."
Yeah. So we were more of like the party sector. We were more of like the daytime partying, work at the shore. You know, we did work at the t-shirt shop. He paid us like $8 an hour. Rude, by the way. And we lived, eat, and breathed the shore.
When did you meet the roommates for the first time?
That day. You see it in real time. We all left the hotel separately. We got in in our cars with a producer. The producer gave us a MapQuest printout and said, drive here. So we drove over the bridge and you see it all happen in real time. Like we meet them in real time. We meet the house. Like we walked in and we were like, what are we doing? And then as the dust settled, Danny walked in and was like, you're going to be working at my shore store. And we're like, wait, I don't work. What? Like, what is happening?
I work. I'm here to party. What do you mean?
He's like, if you want to party, you have to work. And that was the deal.
I do think that was one of the craziest parameters of the show, that you guys had to stay working at the t-shirt shop to be able to stay in the house.
Or you would get fired and leave like Angelina did. Like they were dead ass with that part.
I love that.
And we didn't make any money except for what we made at the shore store. So the first season I probably walked away with like $400.
Oh my gosh.
And I worked in the Long Island nightclub industry. Like I was like making really good money. And because I wasn't able to tell them if I got hired for the show or not, I like lost all my jobs. No. I like turned my cell phone back on. I checked my voice messages. They're like, you're fired because you didn't show up to like some of the biggest parties. So when I left the show, I left jobless, broke, fired, and regretting everything. I was like, I had a great life in Long Island.
Oh my God.
Because we also didn't know the show would be successful, right? So at that point, we were just like, see you later.
Because when you were finished filming, how long after you were finished filming did the show air?
3 months.
Oof. And 3 months for $400 for 3 months?
And I couldn't get a job back. So I ended up working in finance temporarily, like mortgages. And being like, I'm going to have to go home to my dad. I'm going to have to like drop out of school. I can't afford it. I had really good like job security that I walked away from. I had all these regrets and like all this like overwhelming feeling. I remember being in my kitchen and like borrowing money from my girlfriend and being like, that's it. I'm not taking any more money from anybody. And then I hear this obnoxious voice on TV and I'm like, that's me. And I look I'll never forget this. I was in the kitchen. I was like, the fuck? That's what I sound like? And I hit the corner and I see a commercial.
For the Jersey
Shore. See me. And then like 13 minutes later, MTV calls me. And they're like, hi, just so you know, we're like a rep from MTV. If you need anything, call us. This is the name of your show. I'm like, yeah, I just saw it. Thank you for now
Thanks
telling
for the
me.
information.
Because we didn't know what it was going to be called, anything. We had no idea. And
that's such a trust exercise.
And I don't do those.
Here's all my stuff. Hotel for a week. End up in a house. Leave with $400 and no job. Like that is, you were investing in yourself. I like that. I like that a lot.
I took a risk and I'm not a risk taker. I don't do those things.
It was meant to be.
I can't think of it any other way because my personality is like, what's worst case scenario? And every worst case scenario, every red flag was like right there. And I was like, okay, I'll still do it.
It's like, I could end up in a ditch, but I could also end up on a really cool TV show. Yeah. making a lot of money. So, I mean, it all worked out. Jersey Shore might also be one of the most quotable TV shows of all time. Do you have a favorite line of yours? Because my favorite
stay and get your ass beat.
Yeah. Or you can stay and get your fucking ass beat.
Oh my God.
I mean, is there a better quote?
I don't think so.
That is just and how to be clear, how many times did you say it?
I don't know. I don't know what I was
so
doing.
good.
I was so angry.
It was so good.
So you have to understand that season in particular, I really wish they sold more episodes. We could have made at least 25, 30. They only allowed like 8 or 10, but we stayed there for 2 months. 2 months trying living with someone. No cell phone, internet, no TV, no pens, papers, magazines. At any point in anyone's life, you would tell someone next to you, if you stay, I will literally beat your ass. Like, you need to leave. So I probably said it way more. I was over it. She left. Here we are. We're friends now.
It was such a good, I mean, if you have not seen that clip.
You want to get your ass beat, you get your ass beat. You can stay, get your ass beat.
But that's...
You can stay, get your ass beat.
Okay.
You can stay, get your ass beat.
All right.
You can stay and get your ass beat, or you can stay and get your fucking ass beat. I mean, just top tier television, people. Thanks. Forget all the nonsense that's happening right now. The new reality TV does not hold a candle to you can stay and get your ass beat, or you can stay and get your fucking
I
ass
appreciate
beat.
that.
It's outstanding. I also don't know if you realize it since you were in it, but the way the anticipation for the episode where Snooki gets punched,
oh my God,
united
yes.
all of us. We were on the edge of our seats waiting for that. That happened pretty early in the show.
Yeah.
What was it like seeing the fan reaction and how it sort of like elicited this just absolutely...
I got goosebumps.
Bananas, right?
Yeah. So I would say that was a pivotal moment in our show, because at that time, I think Nicole wanted to leave. She didn't feel like we were taking her serious because she came in very party-esque, like 21. She was a baby, right? And we were GTL, Gym Tan Laundry. So we were like, party 2 days a week. She's like, let's party all 7. So it was this disconnect, but we all liked her. But that day I realized, wow, I love her. And if you watch that clip back, and it's super quick because even though they played it for its entirety, a lot of backlash actually occurred originally. And I love MTV for this. And I love 495 Productions for this. And I stand by them. So when that happened in the bar, because the guy took our shots and Nicole was like defending us, he punched her. I remember her dropping to the floor off like the bench, which is high up, making sure she was okay, dropping my purse, and just started wailing on him as hard and as fast as I could. And in that like 13 seconds, the police show up, the Boardwalk police, and grabbed him. And I ran back to her because I really thought he broke 2 of her teeth. Like, right. And she was bleeding and it was a mess, but she was perfectly fine. I was like, thank God. But we had this meeting and I was with her in the ambulance till like 8 o'clock the next morning, making sure she was okay. And people really thought they weren't going to air it. They weren't going to show it. And I remember sitting with people and saying, and the higher ups, like, why are we protecting him?
Right.
Like, I get that it's like never been done or never been seen on TV, and no woman has ever asked to get punched by a man, but he did that.
Yes.
And why are we going to protect him? So they aired the commercial and they aired it blacked out. And the rage that went across America defending him.
Really?
Not like, I don't even want to say defending him, but being shocked at the audacity of MTV airing it rather than the audacity of the man doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
How dare you air that? How dare we air like something so crazy and trashy but we're like, how dare he do that?
Right?
Like,
he's
we're
the one
just,
that swung.
Yes, we're just airing the reality of what happened. Nobody ever asked for that to happen. We sure as hell didn't think it was going to happen. And that's when I remember Sally Ann, our owner of our company, being like, no, we're doubling down. We're airing this. And we're airing it in its entirety. And we're standing by the fact that, like, this is not okay. And we're not protecting him, because if we don't air it, we protect him.
That's right.
And Nicole is left with getting hit and people just wondering why for like the good chunk of the rest of the season, she's got this like baseball knot on her face. So I'm super proud of like our production and MTV really like
doubling down.
Yeah, just it really blew my mind that like that was even a conversation. And if you look back at the old seasons, sometimes you'll see the blacked out version.
Right.
Like they still sometimes won't show it.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay.
I do love that they doubled down though.
Yes.
And this is how I know I was hanging out with the right people, because we were all like, how dare he?
Thank you.
Yes. No, I felt that strongly.
Thank you.
Oh, that means if we had algorithms back then, mine would have been right.
And it's still like an oh shit moment, and it's still but like I think a lot of conservative people, a lot of boomers at the time, older millennials were more insulted at the fact like, oh, how dare you air that?
Right.
But it's like, but that happens.
Yes.
And I feel like when we bring attention to things like that, that's how we can make it stop.
Absolutely.
If we're going deeper.
No, that
yeah. Protecting
and
people.
that was ahead of its time.
Yeah, this was 2009, like December. Very I don't remember ever seeing anything like that on television.
Absolutely. Look at us having a great time at the OD, laughing, talking about one of the best shows in history, Jersey Shore. And of course, sipping on Dunkin's finest. The real ones know I'm a butter pecan iced coffee kind of gal. But recently, my eyes have been opened. Yes, this is a mango pineapple refresher with a green tea base. One of the best parts about Dunkin's refreshers is that you can customize your order right on the Dunkin app by choosing your favorite flavors and drink bases. I also got a chance to try a few other flavors, strawberry dragon fruit and tropical guava, which were also delicious. And you can pick your mixer. That means they can be made however you want. And I encourage you to try a bunch of different concoctions. Refreshers can be made with green tea, lemonade, sparkling water, oat milk, or black tea. The options, kind of endless. This summer, head to Dunkin to build your refresher your way. Mix and match your favorite flavors and mixers to craft the perfect sip. Before we move on from Jersey Shore, we do another segment on Not Gonna Lie here called Doomscroll of the Week. We explain a TikTok or watch a TikTok and then really we pick it apart.
Okay.
Because right now I'll doom scroll when I'm feeding. I'll doom scroll like when I get in bed at night, which everybody says is bad for you, but like whatever. I'm enjoying myself. Thank you. So I thought since we have you here, we could do a Jersey Shore edition of Doom Scroll where we can react to some of the most viral clips that popped up on my For You page. First up, Nicole couldn't find. By the way, Nicole is Snooki. Snooki is Nicole. If we cross over here, I feel like we should clarify that. Nicole is now a grown ass woman, and she's Nicole, but she was Snooki, and it was great. First up, Snooki couldn't find the beach, and then she got arrested. Roll the clip, Queen Emma. Oh God,
Where's the beach?
it's so good.
Oh my God, I want to the beach so bad. Love you, bye.
I want to go to the beach so bad, is what she said.
Free for all. Nicole!
Look at you.
It's too early for this.
My number one main concern right now is getting Nicole
What
from
am I
the beach
doing?
before she gets in trouble.
I'm a good person.
Come on, Nicole. This is a good time. No, you don't want to go in the water with your...
You grab my purse.
There's so much more to that.
I would love to
good
point out
person.
that she had the massive sunglasses on, which nowadays, well, maybe I might be a little behind on this trend, but people would say they're blocking out the haters. Okay, so
Yes, they were blocking it all out. That was
what led
great.
to that?
A lot of drinking. So we always had this, I don't know what went wrong, but that day I should have known better, but we always had, you have to go somewhere with a partner. It's a buddy system.
Right.
Just for cameras and moving, buddy system. But everyone was dead tired and Nicole really wanted a day drink. So production was like, all right, you can go by yourself. Never do that again. She got blacked out on a day like this. And I have to say, where's the beach? She knew where the beach was. The problem
She meant
is
the entrance to the beach.
the entrance in Jersey is like you have to pay at a booth and you have to like get a slip or whatever. And the poor girl was just trying to find the entrance. And then we all had to double down and try and stop her from going in the ocean because of her mic pack, which was very valuable back in the day.
Right.
And we did not have a lot of those.
We could not order them on Amazon.
Yes. And all I heard was sound freaking out, her mic pack, her mic pack. So I'm running on the beach, then Dina, then Sammy, I don't know who else. I was like seeing friends down the shore being like, is that Jenni chasing her meatball? And all hands on deck. And I actually believe the police that were like tailing us to protect us were like, yeah, we got to arrest you. You're
gone too
public,
far.
Yeah, you're a public nuisance. And that's what I think she got arrested for.
So it was actually police that was sent with you guys.
Yes.
That was eventually like, we got to call it somewhere. And this is the threshold.
Do an aerial shot or like a wide-in view of that, and you can find them on the internet. No joke, at least 3,000 people were swarming us. If nobody realizes it, but if you expand the shot and get like a paparazzi view,
Yes.
3,000 or 4,000 people were like
Holy
surrounding
shit.
us in a circle.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Pauly D got mad. This is one of
I heard that you guys are mad at me, but I ain't doing thing.
Pauly.
So I'm mad at you for being mad at me for no reason. So try and talk to me, I'm mad. Pissed.
I have no idea what that even it was about, but I'm sure we said something like, oh, we're mad at him.
Right.
And he has such a great sense of humor to like turn it around.
It was
it's
so good.
so
How do you
funny.
not break when
Yeah.
he's like, I'm mad at you for being mad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It
amazing.
was the original gaslighter. Like,
It's perfect. It was perfect. He also had to deal with a stage 5 clinger.
yes, it was. He was going through a lot.
You stalked my whole life on the boardwalk.
There's the duck phone.
And
For anyone
then
watching,
when I got
that
home,
is
I
the
had
duck
every
phone.
intention of calling you, but you had already called and you said you wasn't gonna call. So you stalked my whole life on the boardwalk. It's my turn to talk. It's
My turn to talk.
You stalked my whole entire life, right? And I don't like that. I do nothing wrong.
I
and
feel
you
like
know how I
I've
feel
taken
about it.
notes
I'm
from
talking
this when I talk to my own kids. It's my
Yeah.
turn to talk. It's my
Yes.
turn to talk.
I've learned that too from him.
Right?
Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Yep.
So good.
He's great. That was great.
And just to be clear, the duck phone, perfection. That's it. It shows up so many times, and first of
It's
all,
great.
it quacked, guys. It quacked as the ringer. Okay,
But it also is terrible. Like nobody understands landlines like we did, but like trying to hear there was an echo. So we were like, huh?
is that
what?
because of recording devices in the phone?
It could have been.
Okay.
Or it could have been that
It
because
could
it
have
was
just
a
been the duck phone.
I'm like,
It could have been echoing in the
Yes.
duck's head. It's fine.
mhm.
But the duck quacked,
Yes.
and it was how you guys called the cab company.
Yes.
It was the only way that outside people could reach you.
Yes.
Right. So like it was kind of its own character on the
yeah,
show.
it was the 9th cast member for sure.
Perfect. And lastly, I just saw this outstanding clip that you posted of your daughter rating your outfits from your original Jersey Shore era. Queen Emma,
Part 2 of reading my mom's outfit.
part 2.
This kid.
It's like a 6 out of 10. Like, no, like a 5 out of 10. This, I don't know what it's giving. It's giving Barney the dinosaur.
Oh my God.
It's giving Barney the dinosaur.
Just
Okay.
wait. Just wait.
Let's move on to the next one.
Just
I
wait.
give it a 5
It's
out
so
of 10.
good. What else was she? What look did
None of
you
them.
enjoy that she roasted?
She hates all my outfits.
Does she?
Yeah.
To this day?
Till this day, she calls me, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but it just aired on Family Vacation. She called me Y2K. She's like, you're looking
I saw
Y2K.
this. I saw
I'm like,
this.
what does that mean? And how do you even know what that is?
Is that what the kids are saying now? Is
Yeah.
that to call us old?
Is that like what we called our parents hippies?
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because that's like the time frame,
Oh,
20, 30 years ago. Like, I don't know how to feel about this. Y2K.
but eventually all these things are going to come back around.
I already said that to her.
The low-rise jeans are
Yeah.
here.
She wanted an Aaliyah shirt the other day. I'm like, do you even know who Aaliyah is? No, but it's cool. Okay. Then she goes, Mom, I want Tupac.
Oh.
I said, do you mean Tupac?
When you learn how to pronounce that, you can have a Tupac shirt.
Thank you.
My goodness, that does it for Doomscroll of the week. Now, since we're talking about your daughter, I'd love to ask you more about motherhood and parenting.
Yes.
First of all, I will say, how old are your kids now?
She's turning 11. He just turned 9.
And I just saw a clip again on my on my trip down memory lane of your daughter when you were doing, I believe it was your YouTube series with Nicole.
Oh, yes.
And she said,
Oh. What? What did you just say?
and your reaction
did.
was perfect. And Nicole leaned over and was like, I use it. What? What'd you just say?
You're not supposed to react.
And you walked away and you were like laughing behind her head.
Mhm.
And Nicole is there like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
Say it again. I assume that means that you curse in your household.
A little bit.
We're big fans of that here.
A little bit,
Big
yeah.
fans.
I feel like, and listen,
To be fair, she used it correctly.
she did use it correctly. I
She
was
was
actually more
frustrated,
impressed at the
right?
fact that she used it correctly than the fact that she said it. But I don't know how to parent. I don't know if you know how to parent.
No,
You're
winging
just
it.
you
Winging
figure
it.
it out. And I thought that if I start swearing early on, that it won't be such a
It desensitizes
yes,
them.
you desensitize, you get them over the hump, and then they're just like, oh, whatever. I hear that every day because I did have that kid one day in my car before I had kids that I brought a bunch of my friends' kids to Subway. I brought 3 of them, and I'll never forget it. One of them just dropped the F-bomb in the middle of the car, and the other 2 were like, oh, you can't say that. And then the boy was like, yeah, you can. And then she's like, I can say fuck. And then it became this whole thing in my car.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm ruined. My friends are going to hate me forever because their kids
You
all
returned the kid cursing.
Yes.
The kid left not cursing and you returned
Yes.
them. Oh.
It was such a humbling moment. And then I realized, well, I just got to curse. Like, that's just my thing. Like, if I start cursing right away, then the kids. So now that I curse, and my son just said it to me this morning because I was saying something under my breath. He goes, you shouldn't be cursing. You're better than that. I'm like, so now I got the reverse. I got the kids that don't want me to curse.
Right.
But I know them. I see them, and I see my son playing his video games. They curse
Right.
under their breath, behind the scenes.
But when they say it correctly,
I'm proud.
it's always a moment where you're like, you nailed that. I can't tell
proud.
you nailed that.
Yeah,
but you nailed that.
I got to walk away.
Yep.
But I'm proud.
God, that was so good. I heard you say in another podcast interview that you've gone to Nicole for motherhood advice over the years.
Yes.
What's the best piece of motherhood advice that you've gotten from her?
So our mantra is we don't give mother advice unless someone asks for it, because there is nothing worse than somebody giving unwanted parenting advice.
I love that.
Yes. So my girlfriend Sammy on the show is pregnant right now, and everyone's always like, when are you going to give her advice? When are you going to give her advice? I'm like, I'm not. She'll figure it out. But if she wants advice,
Yep.
I will be there for her every step of the way. I will tell her what I did in that specific situation, which might be different than hers, but I will never give a mom unwanted advice because it takes a village, first off. And also, nobody's fucking perfect. Everybody's winging it. And as long as you're trying to keep your fucking kid alive,
Yep.
that's it. You're doing great, sweetie.
That's it. I said there are some days where we get into bed at night and I'm like, everyone is in their bed in clean clothes and alive.
Yes.
They're alive.
Yes.
We're calling it a win.
Yes, that's a win.
And also, I always like to point out when people ask me for advice now, because I'm 4 deep,
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, I'm 5 and under. I can't tell you anything over 5 right now.
That's
and
insane.
also, every single one of our kids are so different that if I gave you advice that applied to our first, it wouldn't have worked for our second through fourth.
100%.
And so the idea of people giving that unsolicited advice, you're like, can you put a cork in it?
To me, it's condescending and you're projecting, because to me, I'm like, why are you giving that to me? I don't want it. And you're just trying to say a situation that happened in your life that's not currently happening in mine.
Yep.
Like you just said, you have 4 girls under 5, all different, all in
Yep.
the same house. I have a son with autism. I have a daughter who's highly emotional. I can't even give the same advice for
In your own house.
in my own house because I have 2 different completely parenting styles when it comes to them.
Yes.
So the fuck kind of advice am I going to give? Holding on by a thread. It gets better. It doesn't. Sorry.
Right. It doesn't.
My
No, I already
daughter's
know
turning
that.
11. It
I
doesn't,
know that.
It gets different.
It does.
Doesn't get better. It just gets different.
It has its a new set of challenges
No.
every phase.
God.
Yeah. Lovely. And now for the season 2 premiere of your favorite Dunkin soap opera, The Dunkin Chronicles. The role of Kylie will be played by me. The stage directions read by our queen, Queen Emma. Action.
Interior Dunkin, Ardmore, Pennsylvania, October 2019. Kylie walks into her neighborhood Dunkin and is clearly 9 months pregnant and ecstatic about it.
Not gonna lie, being pregnant is uncomfortable. This baby better at least look like me.
The male Dunkin cashier nods along as if he could possibly relate.
But nothing takes my mind off this nausea and insomnia like a nice cold butter pecan. I'll have my usual, please.
The cashier starts preparing Kylie's medium butter pecan iced coffee with almond milk. Kylie looks around the store. She can't get enough of the decor.
Oh my gosh, is that new signage by the ladies' room? Oh!
Kylie winces in pain. Was that her first contraction? In her Dunkin'? She starts breathing heavily. Kylie pulls out her phone and immediately calls someone.
Jason, quick! I'm in labor! Where do you think I am? I'm at Dunkin'! No, there's no time to get your fan. Haul ass and get over here!
To be continued.
Well, speaking of motherhood, I saw you are directing a film.
Yes.
About first-time motherhood and postpartum called Nanny Cam.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. And did you finish shooting already?
We just finished shooting. It is about a mother suffering from postpartum psychosis. I actually believe I was suffering from postpartum with Milani, but I guess when you're crazy, you don't think you're crazy. And you only realize you're crazy when you're out of it. And I was shooting Snooki and JWoww when I created this concept of Nanny Cam because I went into a film house with a newborn because we weren't allowed to go home to our real houses because there are film ordinance in my town. So I went to a staged home for the birth of my first child, which is crazy. But I actually really respected it because production had cameras everywhere to make sure my daughter was okay. Mm-hmm. But it was actually when we wrapped that I realized I was developing postpartum, and I started putting cameras throughout my own house to make sure I could watch her. Firstborn problems. I don't know if she's breathing, sleeping, up, not. I was highly paranoid. You're not sleeping at all. Mm-hmm. She's not sleeping. You know the deal. Yep. So I started actually not seeing things in my cameras, but I started being like, ooh, that's a little wonky. Let me make something out of this. Yep. So 10 years ago, I started writing the movie Nanny Cam, which is about a mother going through postpartum psychosis that thinks she's seeing things in the cameras that nobody else can see, but nobody else will believe. And I really want to hit home about mental illness and first-time mothers, women, and how it takes a village, and how regardless of it being real or not, it's real to that person. Mm-hmm. My mom has schizophrenia. So what my mom sees and hears is what she sees and hears. And it's really just a conversational piece that I'm making on bringing mental illness to light, because I think just like the guy getting, punching Nicole in the face, if we start talking about these things more and we start showing these things more, people will understand them more and help. And I want to help women that go through those things.
It's so important too to have those conversations because, like you're saying, first time moms, obviously you don't know what to expect. You're not sleeping. You're going through a grind that anyone could have explained to you and you still have no idea.
Here's a great one. And I just realized this coming over here. And I just said this to someone this morning. And you'll see it on JWoww and you can see it in pictures. I shaved my head. I shaved the side of my head after I had Milani. Nobody questioned it. Nobody said, oh, should we get her checked out? What's going on there? Uh-huh. I went full blonde, shaved, and just was like, chilling.
This is it now.
This is it.
But that's like, in that moment, you were like, this is the right decision.
This is great. I want a new do. Yeah.
And looking back, now you're like,
Yeah.
Something.
And that's where I
Something was
feel
cooking
like,
here.
yes, where we need to start like asking our friends that just had babies, are you okay? Do you need a break? Do you need someone to talk to? How's your mental health? Are you sleeping? Are you eating properly? Are you seeing shit? Do you want to shave your head? Like,
right? I will say I did tell the person who cuts my hair, Jason's barber, but she also does my hair. I told her when I started having kids, like, hey, if I ever come to you and ask for the mom cut, which is like the really cute, like shorter hair, but I know that's my threshold. I told her, if I ever come to you and ask for a shorter haircut, I need you to like take me to the doctor's office.
That's so
that
smart,
is the moment where it's going to be like, no, logical, like grounded Kylie knew that was not for her. And we can't risk it.
That's so important. And it's so important that you realize that because you knew that was your limit.
Very much
And I
so.
did the mom cut too. And I hated it and I cried. And I was like, why did I do this when my hormones adjusted?
That's it.
And you look back and you knew like I have long, beautiful blonde hair. I know I'm not touching this shit. Crazy Kylie.
I will regret it. But sleepless, like hungry Kylie, she probably was like, chop that shit.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I told Libby, I said, Libby, do not let me do it.
Good.
And she didn't. But I do think it's so important because I know, and I've talked about this a number of times, I know I had a different experience for every single one of my kids.
Yeah.
I know that I had baby blues for my first. I know that I experienced some forms of postpartum for like my other girls. I can acknowledge that, but it's very much what you're saying. In the moment, it's hard to have a personal check and be like, am I okay right now?
Yes. And if there's anything that I want people to learn from Nanny Cam, it's that it is going to be terrifying and it's going to be terrifyingly real, but I want people to talk about it. And if they could turn to the person that they love, that have children or going to have children and start planning for those situations and give your wife and the mother of your child grace when she's going through them.
That's so amazing. And I am excited to see it. Now, something else we have in common is one of the main reasons why I was so excited to have you on the show, particularly this week and in this location. We're both very involved in the autism community. You sit on the board for KultureCity.
I do.
For those who don't know, KultureCity is an organization. They are actually, they are the ones who are able to outfit the sensory rooms that are at a lot of the NFL stadiums. A number of other stadiums are also putting them in. What drew you to get involved into KultureCity?
But I also have to shout you out before I talk about me because I look up to you. Oh my God, I got chills right now. I want to cry. You are such an incredible autism advocate. Like truly, you, the Philadelphia Eagles, the city of Philadelphia being our first sensory inclusive city. Like I'm going to get emotional, but like, I just want to say thank you because there's no me without you in this dynamic because it's people and places like Philly and like yourself that make KultureCity what it is. The owner of the Philadelphia Eagles is incredible. I know he did everything for his brother, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I got involved because my son was diagnosed and I needed help. The irony is, you know, there's so many ironies in my life, but when my son got diagnosed with autism by like 6 doctors, and I know at one point they really did not want to diagnose him because they were scared shitless. Like, if we get this wrong, this girl's all over television and, you know, and they got it right, but it's nerve-wracking for everyone. But after I got his diagnosis, I did not know what to do besides he needs ABA. He needs ABA 40 hours a week. He needs speech and OT and all this stuff. And then even then I was like still overwhelmed and like, let me get a second opinion and let me fly him to Florida for it. So I fly my son Grayson to Florida and there was a flight delay on the way back. And we were sitting in TSA and I did not have pre-check at the time. This was 8 years ago. And he decided to not like that and he tried to run through TSA. And when I tried to stop him, he ripped my glasses off and broke them. And he like headbutted me. And it was a very emotional and very real moment that I had with him. And through all his diagnosing, nobody explained to me sensory issues and sensory processing. And I had no idea, because he really wasn't on a flight before that he didn't like lines, and he didn't like waiting, and he hated delays. And because he couldn't speak, he couldn't tell me that. So he took his aggression out on me because I was the closest thing to him. And I remember seeing everybody's phones go up and everyone's recording JWoww with her son, who is throwing a tantrum in the airport. And I just remember crying. And I remember going to I finally get through TSA and I'm bawling, and I have scratches, and my son's crying, and I can't get him in his car seat. And we're having this moment, and I just want to get on the plane or hide. And I'm asking the gate, and the gate's like, there's nothing we can do. Your flight's delayed. And I'm begging. I'm like, as a person, as a mom, please help me. They're like, there's nothing we can do. So I was able to lock myself in a bathroom with him and get him figured out and lock him into his stroller. Like, I was like hog tying him at one point just to calm him down.
Right.
And we got on the plane and he passed out. I remember all the looks, and I just, he just got diagnosed. I didn't want to talk about his diagnosis. I was still trying to process that. And I just did this Karen post on my personal Facebook, just fucking going off on the whole situation. And my girlfriend, her husband, Tiki Barber and Tracy Barber were like, hey, we're part of KultureCity. Let me put a sensory room in your house and give you some sensory tools so when you're flying. And I was like, what's that? I had no idea. And she came over literally 72 hours with KultureCity. They remade a whole bedroom of mine into a sensory room for Grayson. They explained to me his diagnosis in a way that the hospitals didn't, that there are going to be challenges with lights and lines and feeling overwhelming, and that he might need headsets or fidget spinners. And like, the hospitals don't tell you that when you diagnose. Mm-hmm. And I just started crying, and I asked them, like, well, what can I do to be a part of like your group? Like, I want to help. And I think that cut to me being on the board for the last 7 years. And my goal now is to make sure airports, TSA agents, and all of the above are not only certified to understand those situations and to de-escalate them, but to create sensory rooms. So if you're a mother like me going through that, you have a safe place, because nothing is worse than when people are taking their cell phones out and doing that. And I talked about that. And the best part of it is nobody sold that video. Nobody posted it online.
It didn't see the light of day.
It never, and it might still, but no, out of the 20 to 30 people recording, I never saw it.
I think that there's something to be said about like it. A lot of situations, people will give grace to kids, right? Because they're kids.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, an escalated situation with an individual on the spectrum might be louder. It might be harder to de-escalate, specifically in a public area.
Yeah.
So having those spaces to be able to do that, and like, even if it wasn't someone in your position in the public eye and who is a celebrity having that moment, I know that happens to people who are not in the public eye.
I see it all the time on the internet. And I'm always like, but what if that child is not having a tantrum?
Yes.
Like, I always will give grace, and I will always step in to help, because you don't know what that parent's going through, and you don't know what that child's going through. And because I had that moment myself, I look at everything differently. I'll look at every parenting situation differently. And I just feel like through KultureCity, I just want to help. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to make you become the next meme or the next viral video. Like, I find, we have to start like looking at situations from a broader perspective, and not just like, oh, that kid's having a tantrum, let me record it. And like, start looking at it like, oh, what if I put my phone down and helped?
Well, I think it goes hand in hand with the fact that the number statistic for individuals who are diagnosed with on the autism spectrum, it has increased. I believe it's 1 in 31 now. It went up from 1 in 34.
Yeah.
And that rise in number is because we are more aware that these kids might not just be difficult or having tantrums or not like the airport or be impatient. It might be that their brain is telling them like fight or flight.
Yeah. And that's
we
a
gotta get
terrible
out.
thing to feel.
Right?
Yeah. And a lot of people need to understand that. And I know older people will roll their eyes and being like, oh, they're overdiagnosing. No, they're finally diagnosing is what I say. And we're finally giving tools and things to people, whether it's, you know, sensory bags at the Phillies game to de-escalate someone, or a sensory room if they're overwhelmed by the noises that they can go into, or if it's training at an airport so they can understand what to do in a situation like that so they can help. I feel like if all we're asking for is just like helping others, what's wrong with that?
Yes. And also I think it's important to note that yes, the sensory room is intended for the individual who needs to de-escalate or who needs those moments of peace. But it is opening up a world of opportunity for families who have someone in their family who's on the spectrum, who are now able to go into those spaces, who are able to enjoy those opportunities as a family, whether it's going to monster trucks at the stadium or a concert or an Eagles game. You are now given the opportunity as a family to go and do that because you have the space that you need to de-escalate in the situation where someone is having a moment of disruption, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep fangirling at you, and not to interrupt, but Grayson, my son, was able to go to the WWE at the Eagles Stadium because of you guys, because you are sensory certified, the city sensory certified, you have the room. So he was able to see the pyrotechnics, the huge loud noises, the banging, everything that he thought he could never see or do or make possible. It was given because Culture City, Eagles, autism, everyone aligned and allowed it for him. And because it's not even about him. He said, like, Grayson thought it was so cool because he's like, I saw like 25 friends doing the same thing and we were all hanging out in the room together.
That's it.
And I'm like, that's what it is. Those are your friends. Those are your people.
He should be afforded that opportunity as well.
Yes.
And I do think that Philly really dedicating themselves to this mission, for Jeffrey to have the vision to create this organization, this foundation, and partner it with the Eagles organization in a way that everyone in that building at the Eagles organization understands the mission and they understand why Jeffrey's passionate about it and why everyone should be passionate about it, because it impacts so many people, so many families. And now people are starting to realize that they have a personal connection that helps them sort of lean in a little bit more.
Yeah.
It honestly, I'm really proud. I appreciate you giving me props, but it really is like,
girl, you're going to make like $1 million tomorrow for your organization. We're going to make that happen.
For any parents out there listening who might be going through this, what advice would you have?
So for
this
me,
is asked parenting advice.
Oh,
this
I
is
know.
not unsolicited.
No, I know. So for me, it's when my son got diagnosed, the first thing that they said was get him ABA, get him help, get him therapy. So if you feel that your child isn't meeting the right steps, whether it's going through school systems or the doctor appointments and they're just like behind, get the advice. Don't turn. I have personal friends that are like, oh, my son's just a little bit delayed, but he'll grow out of it. Don't wait. Do what needs to be done.
Those early interventions.
Early intervention is key. My son was diagnosed. I didn't have the insurance. I didn't have the means. So I created a business. I created the means. I found the way. I found the way to get the insurance. Like, moms can be unstoppable and you need to be unstoppable for your children. Early intervention is key. Going to culturecity.org if you want to find places that are certified to take your children. If you know they have sensory needs. I mean, there's such a mountain of information now on the internet, unlike 10 years ago. I feel like I also feel like we're just getting started though, but I also feel like there's so much on the internet to help children where I don't know. I feel like I was just like going through it myself. Or that could have been just me though. Like I was just going through the
It feels
emotions.
isolating.
It was very isolating. But now I feel like it's less isolating and it should be talked about, and don't feel afraid or be afraid to talk about it.
I really think like being one step ahead and honestly trusting your gut.
That's
I think a lot of moms
Huge.
know. And they don't
want to admit
they
it.
don't
Yeah.
pull the trigger, or they don't have the conversation with the doctor because they're like, they'll get around to it. And some doctors need you to take that extra step to be like, no, I am worried, because you do answer the questions at the doctor's office and they'll say, well, you know, they'll get around to it in the next couple weeks, or if it's not happening by your next appointment, we'll talk about it. And it's like, yeah, but if your mom gut is sounding the alarm, you're welcome to do that.
Listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even though our shore events benefiting the Eagles Autism Foundation this week are done now, because it's technically Thursday when this releases, we've got plenty more coming up this year that you can get involved in. The Eagles Autism Foundation often holds sensory-friendly clinics.
Yes. Grayson's going to go to one.
They
He's
have
so
many different options.
Yeah.
There's a cheer clinic. There is a STEM clinic, which is a new addition than this last year. There's football clinics, obviously. But it really is trying to get kids out for an all-inclusive clinic and make sure that everyone, again, is afforded those opportunities. If you'd like to donate to the Eagles Autism Foundation and help with our efforts to reach $1 million in our year 5 of the guest bartending, we have a link for all the real ones right in the show description. So you can find that on our YouTube channel or on any of our social media, probably Wednesday and through Thursday when this episode airs. I cannot thank you enough.
I can't thank you enough.
It has been such a pleasure to reminisce with you.
I know.
It is. I'm so sorry that we sweat you out here at the Jersey Shore, but I'm glad that you've experienced the South Jersey Shore and that maybe we'll coax you back.
Yeah.
Right?
I am down. I'm going to move in. It's fine.
Perfect.
Okay.
I have a room upstairs. It's
I
fine.
love that.
You can find even more clips from our longer conversation with JWoww on my YouTube channel on More Shit Monday. I'll be back next Thursday with a brand new episode. Follow Not Gonna Lie on all social media at NGL with Kylie. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Not Gonna Lie is a WAVE original brought to you by Dunkin. That's right.
I love
Cheers
you, Queen.
again. Cheers again. Thanks to the real ones for tuning in.